So what we're going to do now is install belt. I'm just going to show you one side. I may have another video with the other side, but if you understand the one side, the other side's the exact same. Okay, so I got some belt here, a nice big wad, and I've got an idler pulley that's going to be installed on this piece right here. Now to make sure we install it the correct height, we should have installed another slot nut down here. And basically what that's going to do is just hold it right here into the frame, right? Oh. There we go. It's going to hold it there. That way to make sure your upper one stays at the right spot. Okay. So that's the plan here. So what I got is this tiny little grub here, this tiny little bolt. I'm going to put a washer and a fender washer on it. Put it down here. Okay. Give it a little bit of a tighten. Then I'm going to take the big screw here. Okay. And just lightly put this in. What I'm going to do is look at it from this point of view. I want the teeth up here to line up with these teeth on the belt clamp, okay? So loosen this up. Estimate about, yeah, that's about right. We'll get it perfectly straight later, but we want it about right here. Okay, so I'm going to tighten that up. And then I have this pulley to install, right? It's wobbly, but that's good. We want to use a wobble. So when we install the belt, we're going to install it like this and then tighten it straight. Okay. So here I got my belt. And right back here. And just some regular scissors here, right? So what I'm going to do is take my belt, run it over the top here, run it over the top of this thing, and look at the teeth here. Okay, so even if this isn't here, if I were to bring these two pieces of belt together, I want just a little bit of a gap here, okay? So what I'm going to do here is give it a tiny bit of a gap, okay? And hold that and cut it there. All right, so I got my belt here. What I'm going to do next is open up the belt clamp. Okay, and slide them into it, pushing them as deep as they go. You might want to actually come over here. So as deep as they go there on the teeth, so the belt's almost touching that bolt in the middle here, right? The bolt that holds on that clamp. They're going to wrap the belt around this idler pulley out here. Okay. And then push it in the teeth. And then I'm going to push that clamp up and tighten the idler pulley on. Making sure to grab the belt properly. There we go. Get the belt snugged in. I want that belt pretty centered. It's a 6mm belt, and the clamp is 10mm. So there's a little bit of room to wiggle. So try to center it as best as you can. All right. So now we're going to pretend that we pulled it tight. Okay. So as I straighten this screw, I shouldn't be able to straighten it all the way, but I can. Okay. So because I can go beyond straight, I'm going to have to loosen or chop off a few teeth here. Looks like I need to chop off 2 of these teeth of the belt. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's feeling a lot better. Okay. Make sure the belts are centered on the belt clamp and then tighten it. Okay. There you go, that's looking pretty good. All right. And then as I try to straighten this, it's pretty tough to get straight. So that's good. So next thing I'm going to do is put the nut on. Could have done this earlier too. Put a nut on, put the fender washer on, and start tightening this to that nut in here. There we go. Okay. So you don't want to go all the way deep. So you go, once you hit the bottom, come out just a little bit, okay? And then what we're going to do is tighten this nut to it. So make sure it's pushed all the way down. All right, because that's what it's supposed to sit on. And then we're going to check that everything's straight. There we go. So as we're tightening this, I feel it starting to tighten that up. And it doesn't have to ting or anything, but it has to have some sort of, you know, as long as it has some sort of good vibration there, then you're tight enough. Okay. So let's inspect this here. So as I push this all the way forward, there shouldn't be much bend of that belt. But there's a tiny bit if you look at it from the side here. So what I'm going to do, there we go. So if you look at this here, there's a tiny bit of bend. That's a little too much maybe. I don't know. It's actually fine. It would work fine, but I like to be a little straighter than that. So I'm going to lower this thing just a little bit. Okay, give it about that much gap. Then I'm going to loosen this again. Okay, slide it down, and then tighten it right back up. And we'll inspect it. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better right there. So it's still got a tiny bit of flex, but that's not going to hurt anything ever. So that's how you put the belt on. Now do the same thing on the other side. Thanks for watching.